What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm excited, elated on today. Of course, my name is Demetrius Jones. I'm your host, and I am here with owner of Provision DUI School, David Berry. How's it going, sir?
I'm going good. Thank you.
Yes.
Be able to what? It all comes back to making a choice. You know, life is about choices.
It's about choices. Yes,
It's
it is.
about choices.
Choices. Wow. So, as you were talking, it sounds like you're very personable with your clients. They're not just another number,
Right.
but they're some would say they're a soul. They're a person. They're a human being. It's not just another number, and they're somebody that's dear and vital to this community. So, I just want to, out of all, you've helped hundreds, maybe even thousands. Is there one particular client that really just made you say, this is why I do it? When they changed their life around and they was able to get their license back and everything else back, is there one, you don't have to name a client, but is there one particular incident or a person that came to you and you were just like, this is why I do what I do? Or is it just getting up every day doing what you're doing?
Well, that's an awesome question, by the way, and that is why I do what I do, because I always have at least one or two clients through every class I've taken.
Wow.
Remind me about, man, that's a reward in helping people. And one particular situation where I'm not going to share, disclose his name, but he came to me and initially he was like, man, I don't need this class, I don't need this class. But throughout the course of taking this 3 to 4 day class, there are some levels where we build upon and share. And throughout that sharing, he began to open up and begin to realize, man, this class was the best thing that ever happened to me. Wow. And going through every class, he began to open up and share how, some things that happened in his life that really, really traumatized him. He had lost loved ones through, by way of car accidents.
Wow.
And he had just gotten a DUI. And this was hitting close to home. And it caused him to say, you know what, I'm changing my life. I'm going in another direction. That right there is what we live for. That right there is what we want. And we're so happy to be able to turn that life around, and just to get that answer and get that response is worth everything that we do, everything that all the time that we put in. We're here for 20 hours throughout that weekend as well. And when you talk about that's a personal relationship, that's a personal thing that we're pouring into people to be able to share with them that, hey, that we're here for you.
Wow.
And we give them that one-on-one, to let them know, okay, well, you know what, you can make it. And that's what we need in America, right? At this time, we need people to know, okay, hey, you know what, there's people out here to help you make it through these rough times.
Wow.
And that's our goal.
Man, that's
helping
awesome.
people.
That's awesome. Reminds me of another quote. I am a quote guy. Reminds me of another quote. It says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Mm-hmm. And so when you're personable with these people, I believe it allows them to open up. Because it's like, okay, this ain't no guy just trying to, just get another client to enrich his business. This is somebody that actually cares. So it just amazes me how you said the same guy, like, I don't need this, you just trying to take my money, you know what I mean? The same guy is one of the ones that reminded you of why you do what you do. And so I really want to bring it home on this one. I want to bring it home on this one. How deeply involved is God in Provision DUI?
Oh, well, without God, first of all, we're nothing. Without God, Provision DUI School would have never ever existed. First of all, I'm a biblically a faith man, Bible believer, and I know that it was only by God's grace that I'm able to be where I am right now.
Wow.
And that right there is what keeps me going every morning. When I get up in the morning, I know that it was only by God's grace that I'm here in the situation, you see, because I realized that I could be on the other side of the seat. And just because I'm on this side of this desk, it does not give me amnesia at any point where I forget where I come from.
Wow.
And I know that every day that is a blessing that I'm able to pour into other people, and God gives me that ability, that gift to be able to pour into others. That is why, I do what I do. Just like Pastor Sanders, our pastor, get out and give a shout out to our
shout out
pastor,
to Pastor Scott
T. Sanders. He said that, you have to be like a conduit where you are able to allow God to flow through you. The more He can flow through you, the more He can flow to you.
Yes.
And sometimes we think about that as money, but many times they think about that as souls.
Right.
And, because the more souls that I'm able to pour into, the more He begins to give me more opportunities to pour into more souls.
Wow.
And so, and with that being said, as just a unusual amount of reward that you receive when you see that you're pouring into another life.
Wow.
And so it's more than money, it's more than any accolades, it's more than any position. It's supernatural. It's a type of something of a mystery that you can't explain.
Wow.
But you just have to, just experience it for yourself and seeing the outcome of others' lives being transformed because of the impact that you made on their life is priceless. Right here on the main block off of South Jackson Street, you see our building is right here, and that's where it all goes down for Provision DUI.
What is the process? What's it like when people come to you and they're still on drugs, still on alcohol, and they feel like there's no way out? What's the process? How do you help them to realize that there is a brighter day, that there is a better solution to their problem?
Well, that's like you said, I wear many hats, not only the DUI class, but also I do clinical evaluation as well. And as a clinical evaluator, that means that I evaluate the person to determine whether or not they need more treatment. And they probably already went through the DUI class. They probably already went through some other assessments, such as substance abuse classes or outpatient treatment, or maybe even NA or SA substance abuse groups. And so the process is really just evaluating them to see where they are right now, to be able to determine whether or not they need more help, more assistance, more treatment, whether it's a 6-month program or maybe up to a year. I evaluate them to that point, and then I link them with other services that will be able to help them to move to that next dimension in their life so they can be drug-free. And the process is just basically showing them that, hey, you know what? You're not alone. It's just letting them know, okay, well, we know, okay, well, you still have a little more to go in this area. And guess what? You didn't start using, like yesterday.
Right.
Sometimes you worked up to that over years and years. A period of alcohol use is not going to go away in 1 or 2 days of just treatment.
Right.
And so that's the process. You have to bring them in and then walk them along the way.
DUI, pillars in the community. God-fearing. I just want to introduce you to you all, David Berry and Amitra Berry. How are y'all doing on this evening?
Great, how are you?
Doing good.
Wonderful. You all look stunning. I mean, it's fabulous. I love it. And so,
Good, so it's a blessing to be able to work with someone you love,
right,
and someone who just can flow with you. So that's a gift from God. You know.
I have a two-part question. It's something that you said that I want to touch on. Now, you was talking about excellence,
Mm-hmm.
and you tapped on it a little bit, but I really want you to delve in deep and free to answer to and flow off each other. How important is it to be excellent in business? Because a lot of times people have the idea, I want to start a business, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't quite know how to be, or they don't have the level of understanding of excellence. So a lot of times it fails. There was this one symposium that we went to where they said we start the most businesses and we have the most failed businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want you to delve on that. How important is it to be excellent, to dot every I, to cross every T? How important is that? Because I want the people to understand what it takes to be successful.
Well, first thing I want to say is I want to just thank God for our man of God, Pastor Sanders,
Yes, sir.
who first initiated the gift of excellence and he taught me just what you just said there. He said, just dot every I,
Right.
and cross every T.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that was very, very critical in building our business and building anything. You know, failure is somewhat as how you look at it.
Right.
Sometimes it's, look at failure as something that's negative, but I tend to look at failure as something, I'm moving towards something greater.
Right.
That right there just lets me know that that didn't work.
Right.
So I'm moving forward.
Right.
I'm a little bit closer.
Right.
And there's many failures that I failed at a lot of businesses, right, baby? I mean, we started, I started graphic designs, and I was doing the graphic thing, and then I was doing computer thing, and and all of those things were leading me to where we are right now. And so I don't look at it as a failure, but because I use all of those gifts to be able to help perfect, and perfection equals to excellence. And so failing, it helped me to be able to be excellent. And so, and being able to, with that said, is so important because, even starting out, understanding the application process had to be to the T. And every application that I submitted in, it wasn't completely accepted right at once. But there were times when I said, okay, well, you know what? They must don't know who I am. I'm not gonna quit.
Right.
I'm not stopping. I got on the phone and I called Atlanta. I said, did you receive my application? Yeah, we received your application, but something is not right. And so I got in the car and I drove those 230-something miles up to the facility and made sure that I went and spoke to the person who was going over my application. See, that's what I'm talking about, excellence. Excellence says that, okay, well, even though you're saying that something is wrong, and I'm going to make sure I get it right. So the reason why I was going there, so I can look them in the eye and say, okay, what else do I need to do to make sure this application is correct? Because excellence is about dotting every I and crossing every T. And so I needed to make sure that they understood that I'm not leaving until I make sure that everything is perfect, because our livelihood, it depends on this. And after the second, maybe the third application submission, guess what? We had it done. And so excellence is key. But the key thing of it is not allowing failure or to disappoint you into quitting, but to continue until you have reached your destination.
And as my husband was saying, excellent is you say dot every I and cross every T. You also have to understand, like I was saying, with failure, you're not going to be perfect, but it's your due diligence. It's what you're putting into it. It's your effort of not quitting that make your business successful. You have to understand and pay attention to the details of everything. It took us, yes, when we first initially started, it took about 3 submission of the application to get it right. But the determination in my husband to go up there and see the details of the application of what needed to be done is what made provision come to life. Because we have 4 different programs, and each program has a different application, has different paperwork. There's background checks, there's surety bonds, there's notarized, all this paperwork that has to be submitted. And you have to renew your certification every, 4 years, 2 years, something. It's different with each program.
Wow.
So those are dates and times that we have to pay attention to. Owning a business and running a business is no time to be lazy, lethargic. You have to stay up on your details, your dates, your due dates, what's important. And also, as what drives excellence is the passion and the vision that you have. And that comes from God. Because like I said, God started this. This is provision. Your provision is the place where, we see beyond your limits. We are here to offer excellence. We're not perfect, but we're excellent in what we do. So.
And the excellence deals with, like my wife said, is who you are representing. And we represent a higher authority. And we represent God. And when you see us, we want that to be we want that excellence to be presented. And so as you can see, we are a small business, Black-owned business. And so just like, when we see individuals that come to us, and a lot of them are Caucasian or Hispanic, but 90% of the individuals that we serve are our ethnicity, our color. I can't say that word there, but but my point is, when they see us and they see us operating at this level, that I've even had some say to me, man, I like the way y'all operating y'all business. This is excellent. When they come in, they see the nice chairs and they can sit in, the comfortable seating, the executive room, when they come in, they see the classrooms, and they come in, they look down, and they have the audacity to have a security down here, and you don't have to worry about anything. The grounds is clean, and they come into our classroom, and they see how we are carrying ourselves and how we treat them with professionalism and how we go about caring for them. And that right there really speaks to them. And they say, man, I really want what you all have. And so not only are we teaching, as we, sometimes you look at it as, okay, well, you're just teaching a DUI class, or you just teaching defensive driving class. No, we're teaching a lifestyle. And that's what we're teaching. And so when they come here, we want them to see a lifestyle. So they can, when they leave, they can say, hey, you know what? I want that. Not just, I want to get my license back, but you know what? That's something else that they have that, that was attractive to me, that I really want to know a little bit more about.
And that goes a long way with the character of the person and the integrity of a person. As my husband was saying, yes, we're our business is, has the integrity of our man and woman of God. Pastor Scott T. Sanders and co-pastor Cynthia Sanders, they have installed a lot of integrity and character building and leadership. The leadership plays a major role in being excellent and successful in the business, because not only are you representing Christ, you're representing who's you're covering. I represent my husband. I represent my family. So it's very important that they have the character, integrity, and understand that you can't run a shady business and expect you to expand. So it all boils down to who are you. When our students leave, we pray. When our students leave this building, it ain't just we give God thanks for a successful class. So it's not just you going, oh, I got this. And, a lot of time people get into running a business for money, and it's not about the money. It's about the people.
For whatever reason, we want to let you know that we're here to help.
Offering virtual DUI classes and defensive driving classes.
Provision. We see beyond your limits.